and this was not an easy decision for me to make. I cannot do INDIEcember anymore. At least I can't do it the way I want it to be done. Like, I started it back up 2023. I had the inspiration, the idea of I wanted to uplift more than just indie animation. I know that there's some indie comic writers out there, some people who just write with just, words itself, or just artists in general of all types can be Indian. And I understand that, like, in my sphere, of course, I largely talk about animation and my interest is in animation, but like there's far more than just indie animation out there to uplift. And I'm so thankful for the past 2 years of doing INDIEcember. I was able to lift it over 50, 60 something odd projects. Some still work in progresses, some with just concepts, but like just giving people the encouragement and just letting them know, hey, you have an interesting idea. I know it's just an idea right now, but like once you chisel it out, people are gonna like it. Someone's gonna be out there liking it. If you have no fan, I am your fan. I'm your biggest fan. I love your drawing. I love your writing. I love what you're doing and what you're making. Please continue making what you're making, because individuality and individual creativity is amazing. And from what I've read, watched, so much of it I've engaged with for the past like 2.5 years or so has been amazing. I've come across so many amazing stories and like art styles, and everything is just so creative. It's wonderful how much the human mind can just expand. But unfortunately, I've come across, this is more so like a personal offline thing. I can't get into too much detail about it. Long story short, going through physical therapy for my leg, and how I record, I sit on a giant ass yoga ball to make it easier for myself. That's how I used to do it. And with my leg being the way it is, it's harder for me to record like in my current setup and current state. So unfortunately, I can't sit down, record, and give my thoughtful feedback and thoughts and criticisms and just praise and admiration of like 31 projects in a short and doing 5 videos. I would stockpile that. I would take the quarter end of the year to do INDIEcember. I would put everything else on the back burner for this project so I could dedicate my time and energy into reading these chapters and taking in the animation that I'm watching to give thoughtful feedback and to uplift these creators. But in the midst of doing that, I've also, of course, living my own life, but it can be stressful sometimes to balance, oh, I gotta make sure I read this webtoon comic, oh, and I have to make sure I watch this indie pilot and make sure I get good thoughts down there, and like, of course, sitting down and recording. Recording is the biggest hurdle of my process, no matter what I'm doing for videos. It's always the recording and audio editing, and after that it's like downhill and great, but it's always the biggest hurdle. And I think moving forward, what I want to do is, I don't want to stop uplifting indie projects, of course not, but what I want to start doing is just implementing more shorts. Since shorts can be up to 3 minutes now. That gives me more time to really indulge and talk about these projects. Even when I was doing the 31 days shorts for smaller projects here and there, I still had to like cut down what I was saying because it was over a minute. I just like to talk. I just like to yap. I just really want to go on about how great these projects are, and it killed me to like cut it down and shave down the script or my audio, because I'm like, no, this was very important. If people have a right to know about this creative decision that they made in this comic, gosh darn it. But yeah, moving forward, INDIEcember is over, but that doesn't mean Indie Nation itself does not stand. There's still so many great writers, so many great artists, so many great animators, so many great people in general out there creating, and I'd love to see and hear more. I've gotten a lot of great recommendations over the years. So far, my favorites that I keep checking in on is The Earth Guy. Please check that out. It's great. And please check out all the artists I've mentioned in the past. Just give them some love, give them some praise. Look over those past playlists I've made of INDIEcember. So though I can't produce in the volume I used to for INDIEcember like I would want, just know I will still be here supporting all the indie people in the background. I just want to be your biggest fan out there, because just knowing that you have at least one, I hope that's enough to keep you going. Never stop creating.